Hi, this is One Man's Opinion. I'd like to talk about the American media and their coverage, and maybe more importantly, their lack of coverage, their lack of delving into issues. For example, recently a district court judge overturned the ability for the NSA to listen in on American phone conversations. Fox's coverage on this amounted to the more politicized that this issue becomes, the less likely we're going to have the legal framework to turn it into law. CNN's coverage, slightly better, was the president became very agitated when he talked about this issue, which is not a great idea considering he's going to be appealing this to the Supreme Court. To me, that's akin to talking about the color of his tie. It's not talking about the issue. The issue is whether or not the NSA listening on Americans' phone conversations is legal or not. There was no debate on this. There was no American opinion poll. This issue was not delved into. It was not properly analyzed in the conventional media. Now let's take a look at the Middle East. Let's take a look at Iran. Let's delve a little bit more deeply into Iran, into the Middle East, into Palestine. Iran elected Mahmoud Ahmadinejad in August of 2005. The Palestinians elected Hamas as their representatives in January of 2006. Now, these people are being characterized as terrorists. We all know that Iran is potentially getting the nuclear bomb. Now, let's take a look at the framework that this is all happening in. For the past 4 years, America has been occupying Iraq. By all accounts, there's probably about 100,000 Iraqis that have been killed in this. Iraq right now is the most dangerous place in the world to be. It's in the middle of a civil war. Now, let's juxtapose this to in North America, for example. Let's say an alien force came in and invaded Mexico, and in the process killed a few Mexicans. Mexico descended into civil war. Hundreds of thousands of people were killed. Don't you think that at that point that the American people would elect the most rootin' tootin' gun shooting president that there is? Don't you think America would look to stockpile nuclear weapons, stockpile conventional weapons? Well, yeah, I think that's a proper and measured response. Now, why, when it's moved to the Middle East, is it characterized as Hamas and Ahmadinejad as being terrorists, as being the ones to destabilize the region? This makes absolutely no sense. When you look into this issue, it's not a bunch of crazy Arabs that are destabilizing the region. It's a bunch of crazy Americans that are destabilizing the region. And when I say crazy Americans, I mean Wolfowitz, I mean Cheney, I mean Bush, I mean the whole American oil cartel that seems to be running this whole show. So maybe the UN should be looking at sanctioning these people instead of the poor people of Iran.